Hey guys, what is up? Marco Stelnel here, and I'm back with another amazing video. It's gonna be my brute versus SG Carnage Forge on this map. And not as promised, I promised a profit video where I would take a loss off of his profit. I will probably upload that next. I just had this game as well, and I just had to decide whether to upload this game or the other one. And because I have very little time, I just decided to do this one because, you know, I'm recording this right now. Like, this is in a between hour of my school. Like, really, I had 2 hours free. I drove back home. You know, I had the 22 likes, and I tried to, you know, push out this video for you guys just so you can enjoy another video, because my last video, my most recent video, hit 22 likes, and I really feel like that I should upload it. So, and this was basically the only time today that I actually had any time to talk over anything. So, I really want to have your opinion on whether I should have not done the 22 likes thing and just kept it to 15. But you know, I'm really busy, and I think 15 is just too low of a number, and probably I will adjust it if it's not right. If it's too high or too low, I'll probably adjust it to whatever fits right, I guess. But because I don't want to force people to do anything. I don't want to force them to like my videos or anything like that. And really, I really don't want to overwork myself either. So I gotta find the right balance. And when I have that balance, it's all up to you guys. It's all up to you whether you want a new video, yes or not. So enough about that. Let's just continue to this amazing game, because obviously a lot of brutes have trouble playing versus a Forge on this map. So I'm gonna show you exactly what you're gonna have to do. I went Temple second and he went Barrack second. I'm just going straight for his hook, and you can go for your own hook as well, but I like to take my advantage, or I like to take a little bit of a risk and try to go for my hook. But obviously he's gonna try to stop me. It's not gonna work that well, and I'm not sending in my brute just yet. I really want to make sure I get that. So I'm going half fifth. Whenever I go for the enemy hook, I like to go for half fifth because I get the hook way later. And when I go for my hook, I like to go half fourth. So that's the difference. You remember that. So I'd also like to pour in 2 squats and no more after that, because he was most likely gonna go for my hook, which is probably gonna mean that I'm gonna have to leave this hook because I also want mine. I just don't want him to have his one that early. And if I put too many units here, too many units will get killed. So this is just temporary. I put the extra brute, so in worst case scenario I can still recall, and I can still collect the supplies. So, you know, I can put that one bird in the tower to collect the supplies, but I don't need to, so I can collect the supplies with my chieftain now. Pretty useful, everything. And I'm trying to upgrade my pets and trying to pump jackals at the same time, and also some brutes. And you know, this is a very basic opening versus Forge. But the thing is, what a lot of brutes mess up with on this map is that they keep making infantry. Like, they're never satisfied until they get both hooks, and you just can't do that versus the Forge player. So, unlike Anders, which Anders is really vulnerable to raids, I would say. Well, I consider Forge being quite vulnerable to air. So, I really recommend going double raids or something versus Anders, but I recommend going double banshees versus Forge. And I also recommend going double banshees versus Scudder. It's just that Ender has a cryo, the quick gauze, and like a lot of stuff. And of course Marines are gonna stop banshees, but you know, I mean, if you're going double summit, the Marines aren't really gonna do much. You're gonna probably kill off the Marines. And besides of that, you're gonna have jackals, right? Like, look at this map right now, and I'm already pumping jackals and everything, and you know, trying to stop everything I can, and trying to stop this flamer, and trying to pick off money stuff. And if I had ported a lot of units through the teleporter at the other hook right now, he would have been sending a lot of flamers to that, and all of my units would have gotten killed. So you don't want that. You only want to put like 2, that's it, and then just focus on the other hook, because he thinks you're gonna camp it, and you know, that's it. So I'm kinda, what should I do? Upgrade my vortex? But you can upgrade your vortex versus an Anders. But versus a Forge, you gotta take it to the combat units as soon as possible. You don't want to be stuck on harassment units and all that stuff, because Forge is gonna completely destroy you. It doesn't matter if you have the hooks or not. Forge is just gonna outproduce you at some point. Of course, if you have both hooks for a very long time. that doesn't matter. But I really like to just transition into Banshees. Well, keep making Jackals. I'm gonna keep making Jackals, but I don't think I'm still gonna go for his hook at this point. I could, but I can also defend. I really don't want to fight over the hooks. Like, I would run back right now, get his hook, etc., etc., and eventually a good Forge would beat that because Forge just has a better eco. So I'm gonna turret up my base. Gonna put an anti-infantry turret. I'm gonna go for a summit. I'm just gonna upgrade my pets. So I'm gonna get a good eco, so I can at least upgrade my chieftain or keep making jackals simultaneously. And as soon as I get my first summit up, I want to destroy my hull and get the second summit for the double summit. And you want to make sure you have enough infantry or enough jackals at least on the field by that time. That's why I'm like pumping a lot of jackals at this time. I want to have enough infantry to control at least one of the hooks. And of course you can control hooks with brutes, but not if he has a ton load of flamers. So you want to give him the attention. You're actually going for mass infantry, and that's what it looks like right now. Except that I don't have a lot of brutes and I don't have double hull. I could have had a little more, but you know, he has a carpet and everything. Infantry just doesn't work that well versus a force, at least in my opinion. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want, of course. So I'm just gonna try to kill this barracks off, do some damage, and now I'm gonna go for a double summit. And I think this is a very good strategy because Forge is quite vulnerable versus air. I've played it myself and I know that's his weak spot, and that's pretty much his only weak spot. If he counters your air, you're pretty much fucked over because raids don't really work because he will always out-tank you. So I'm just trying to do a little bit of damage, and I know he's gonna try to push on my hook pretty soon, but or my base. Either one of those. He's gonna push on my hook or my base. I'm suspecting my hook because that's what Forge likes to do. He likes to control map. So I'm pretty afraid of a ton load of flamers right now, and he already has a tank and everything. Oh, he's already making a tank actually. He went for a tank, so that's what forces also like to do. They like to go for super quick tanks while they're building flamers. And that's also going to happen on Blood Coach. So if you go Banshees, you counter those tanks. And I'm just going to try to wreck his eco right now because I'm not sure if I can stop that depot. And I really just want to try to kill his economy because that's his best spot. But obviously he does have two hooks, like, because he has so much infantry on the field. So right now he's trying to kill off my infantry with a tank at the base. And I could send in my Banshees over there. But I don't know, I decide to just walk away and try to go for his hook right now. I don't want to just reveal the Banshees yet. So I want to make sure I can win this. Because usually, let's just say, in some kind of sort of situation, you wouldn't have been able to push up right now. Then you would have still been able to double pump Banshees and wreck his mainline units, and maybe, even if he has both hooks, you could have done damage on the base. So this game is not to show off in any sort of... So now I'm definitely sending my Banshees in now. I should have done it a little earlier, but I guess it wasn't that necessary. But this game was not to show off anything or something. This game was to... This game is a tutorial on how to play Brute versus a Forge on Chasm's Blood Gulch. And probably also Pert. Pert is a little different though, but Forge cannot expand straight away on Pert either. So now he's getting his third tech, which makes me suspicious because he's probably going for Gauss. Now this is not good as Forge. Oh, he has a depot up. Excuse me, he's gonna get Wolverines, but by that time it's too late. Like, 10 Banshees will beat a Wolverine, just like 5 tanks will beat 2 Cobras. Like, you gotta have numbers as well. So, this is basically the tutorial on how to beat a Forge. I'm pretty sure you're gonna run into a couple of problems and a bit of trouble, but that's because people do different things. But if you do this, you can achieve very, very good results. I have achieved a lot of good results with this, and I will be covering versus in Enders as well, where raids are actually more important because Enders is quite weak versus the raids. So I will cover those both really soon. So I guess he still has a lot of infantry on the map. Like, Forge can just spam infantry forever. And I'm pretty sure if he hadn't switched to tanks, then he would have even a lot more flamers. So Banshees is the weak point, and you just want to make sure you have enough infantry on the field before you transition into double banshees, so you don't need the hulls up anymore. So that's the key thing right there. That's the trick. That's how it's done. You want to recycle your stuff. You don't want to always keep all your stuff up. That's just not going to work. So I kind of rushed through this a little bit. I'm sorry for that, but I kind of have to go in 5 minutes right now, so I try to do my commentary really quickly, try to explain what was happening. I try to make you guys understand how to do this for all the brute players out there that have trouble beating forges. It's always a good thing to go air versus a forge, always, even if he has tech 3, because Wolverines kind of do suck versus air, just like Cobras suck versus tanks a lot. You kind of need numbers for that, and it's kind of hard to achieve. But of course, when you're on Tech 2 and he has Wolverines or something, you can just switch to Hunters. But you can watch my my Pornhub video for that. Yeah, you just search it up on my channel. Come Back So Hard. It should be on Pornhub. That's a very fun title actually. And you know, you just check that out, and it's a 50-minute video against Metalweight Monkeys Enders where I completely mess up and ruin myself the game, but I get very nice comeback and just an amazing win on that. So if you guys want to know any details on that, you can also check that one out if you haven't already, of course, because if you've seen it, I don't recommend watching it all over again. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to, you know, squeeze it through, and I hope you guys understand how to play now. And as you can see, he's at this time he could have probably taken both hooks, but at this time it doesn't matter because I have double repeating cannons. So even if he does have both hooks, you can win the game. So I hope you enjoyed this. 22 likes, and then my newest on this video, I will instantly try to upload a new video for you guys. 22. I definitely changed it to 22. Tell me what you think about it, and I'll see you guys later.
I've been looking for a way out, running around with my head down, my pride in the ground. They told me